Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. My name is Josh Kahn. I'm the Performance Director here at Creative Alliance. Thank you for joining us and celebrating this really monumental moment for Creative Alliance. Before we begin, let's give a round of applause for our friends over in Banda Guerrerense. Today we break ground on the Creativity Center. After 7 years of really hard work led by our dedicated board, local elected officials, donors and staff, we are finally constructing this new building. So thank you all for all of your help. Give yourselves a round of applause. Architects Quinn Evans have designed the Creativity Center to house a 1,000-foot square dance and movement studio, a really large, wonderful professional teaching kitchen, multi-purpose classroom spaces. Lewis Contractors will begin construction right here in the coming weeks. So keep your eye on the space. It's really exciting to see the progress.
Adjust it down. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. Before I say a few things about the Creativity Center, I actually want to start by acknowledging Joe McNeely. Joe, can you raise your hand? So, the reason I mentioned Joe today is it was Joe's wife, Pat Massey, who unfortunately passed away recently, who had the earliest vision for this project. And we owe a debt of gratitude to Pat. This would not be happening without Pat. And thanks to the generosity of one of our board members, Christy Berglund, the reception area of the new Creativity Center will be named after Pat Massey. By almost any measure, the Creative Alliance has been wildly successful over its first 25 years. Thousands, and I mean thousands, of young people have gained access to art and the creative process in our work at the Patterson Theater, Baltimore City Schools, in libraries, and in Patterson Park. Bridges have been built between many, many different cultures in our neighborhood, region, and increasingly the world, thanks to the great work of Josh Kahn. We have distinguished ourselves by having the most diverse artistic programming of any organization in the city and region, and we have provided space for artists to create, take risks, and gain exposure. Then you can come here for an evening and you can exist and wander among these two buildings and eat and cook and learn and look and enjoy performances without leaving a corner in like Highlandtown. It's great.
Thank you, Cheryl. Well, good afternoon, and thank you all, every single one of you, for being here today with us. As the Creative Alliance Board Chair and co-chair of the Creativity Center Committee, I wanted to thank you all for your generous support of this organization over the past 25 years, a quarter of a century, my goodness. Today is a monumental day for our organization and solidifies that the Creative Alliance will continue as a beacon here in Southeast Baltimore. Today is a monumental day for our organization and solidifies that the Creative Alliance will continue as a beacon here in Southeast Baltimore. I'd also like, as Cheryl, to applaud the hard work of our architects, Quinn Evans and formerly Choben Hilbeck, and the construction company, Lewis Contractors, who have all done so much over the years to get us to this point. And thanks to you, to all of you, we will have a beautiful Creativity Center. We're able to break ground on this building because we have raised over 90% of our $5.7 million campaign goal. I'd like to thank a few of our major campaign supporters who are here today with us in the audience. The Franz Marek Foundation, the City of Baltimore, the State of Maryland, Peter and Millicent Bain, the Middendorf Foundation, the Jacob and Hilda Blaustein Foundation, the Joseph and Harvey Meyerhoff Family Charitable Funds, T. Rowe Price, the Harry L. Gladding Foundation, Gary and Alana Vikan, and so many of our wonderful, incredible trustees, many who are among us today. Thank you so much for all you've contributed to make it possible.
Good afternoon. I'll try again. Good afternoon. What a celebration, huh? I am so pleased to be joined by one of the other three members of the delegate team from Team 46, Delegate Brooke Learman. And there's a reason that I would like her to share the stage here particularly. I mean, we share the stage for all projects, but for this one in particular. I cannot begin to explain how excited I am for this project on this space right here. And it's personal to me. About 10 years ago, 11 years ago, as a newly elected state senator for the 46th district, I lived right down the street on 801 Southeast Avenue. And we had several evenings over and over and over again where this property that used to exist, this two-level bar that didn't really have any windows, and we all know what happens in bars without windows. It was not just a nuisance bar, but we had some serious issues of violence. We had several stabbings over and over and over again. It was a problem location. Well, about a year later, I had a meeting with a mutual friend who said, "You've got to meet this great lawyer who I met the other day that's moved to Baltimore, that's really doing some great work, and she's interested in doing some pro bono work." So lo and behold, that great lawyer was then just resident Brooke Learman, now Delegate Brooke Learman, soon to be Comptroller Brooke Learman. And I'm going to hand it over to Brooke to kind of give the story of what happened from there. Delegate Learman.
Thank you, Senator Ferguson. So yes, it's such an honor to be here today. I'm so proud, and it did. So I got a call one day. I was actually traveling for work from Senator Bill Ferguson, and he said, "We have this bar. I understand you do work with the Community Law Center in front of the Liquor Board. Would you be willing to meet with a group called the Highlandtown Community Association to come and talk about what we could do about this bar?" And I don't usually say no to requests from my elected officials, and so I said, sure. And so I met with the Highlandtown Community Association, which included at that point Councilman Cohen's brother, Jake, who I knew before Zeke, and we said, we've really got to do something. This is out of control. This space could be so much better. So we brought an action. We went to the Liquor Board, and we won, working with multiple businesses, working with all the residents, working with church groups, the first revocation of a liquor license in Baltimore City in 10 years. And then we were able to take a step further, because why stop there with a shuttered bar? We reached out to the owners, working with Margaret Footner, and we said, this is a building now that you don't have anything to do with. Would you be willing to sell it? And Margaret, in her infinite wisdom and her visionary status, could see at this run-down building a creativity center opening a decade from then. So I just want to conclude by saying that I think this has been an enormous effort, and so many people have contributed to it that I'm not going to start to name names. But I also want to reflect on the fact of Pat's passing, and that a new generation of people are really going to benefit from her vision, from the vision of Margaret, of Gina, of Cheryl, of so many people. We have young people who attend Hampstead Hell Academy, and they're excited to be able to come here for years and years to come. There's a quote that I love: "You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it," from the Pirkei Avot. And it's so often that we are not completing the work, and we are continuing to work together towards an ultimate vision. And certainly the mission of the Creative Alliance is not going to complete it with the building of this project, but today it's so exciting and wonderful to say we are going to complete this work on this corner for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josh. Do want to quickly recognize City Council President Nick Mosby, who's here. Thank you for all your support on this. And I know some of the mayor's folks are here as well, and they've been great champions. And we were really proud this year to help push with a little bit more CDBG money to try to get this over the top and get us to that 90%, and we will get the rest of the way there. But I want to do the Senate President one better, which is that I actually used to live in that house right there, literally right here. And when Bill and Brooke said that this bar was a problem, this bar was a problem. And literally going door to door, Brooke remembers this, every single neighbor getting petitions, getting signatures, teaming up with the amazing Delegate Brooke, then resident Brooke Learman, and finally getting this thing revoked. And it was a true team community effort. And so again, shout out to Brooke for having the tenacity to get this liquor license revoked. But I want to say this, which is that the Creative Alliance is the heart and soul of Southeast Baltimore. You all know this, that's why you're here today. But this building here and what this building represents to us is this beautiful nexus, melting pot of communities coming together for what Baltimore should look like. When you walk up and down Eastern Avenue, You will hear 10 different languages being spoken. You can get food from Peru, from Mexico, from Honduras. You can go get an ice pop from Corazon Helado. I see you in the back there. And it's hot, so get her ice pops. You can get Di Pasquale's. You can get Italian. This is what Highlandtown, this is what Baltimore is all about. And Creative Alliance has nurtured that energy, that creativity, and that love so beautifully. When I think about the Artisans Mexicanas, when I think about all the amazing programming that takes place in this building, when I think about just this cultural, amazing coming together of so many different people and communities, this is what gets me so excited about Baltimore, its future, and all that we have here. And so again, I no longer live here, but I know that the folks who are currently living here are going to truly benefit from this addition. I want to sincerely thank Josh, the entire staff. You all are amazing. Please give it up for them one time. The board of directors, and just to close out and say, look, this is why so many of us love living here in Baltimore, right? You can't find this anywhere else. Just the zaniness, the weirdness of the Creative Alliance, the Lantern Parade every single year. It is just something truly special about this place and about the energy that it's fostered and the ongoing commitment to anti-racism, anti-xenophobia, anti-bigotry, being a place where when we had a president who was incredibly hostile to our immigrant community, this was a place that stood up and said all people are welcome here. And it doesn't matter whether you grew up in Honduras or Mexico or Greece or anywhere, you are welcome here in Southeast Baltimore at the Creative Alliance. We want you here. We will nurture your talent. And so again, I want to thank you all for everything that you do, everything that you will do, and for this amazing, amazing building. I can't wait to walk in and bring my little babies to come check it out. Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.